knows the angles, and that's what he uses to his best ability.
KCP scored 14 points in the loss, making 4 of 5 from 3. Speaking with Allie Clifton.
You know, coming into tonight, obviously back into the back-to-back, you guys got off to a great start in the first, opened up the third on a nice run. How would you describe kind of what made the difference down the stretch, what Portland was able to do to close this one out?
I think what Portland did, they turned up their intensity, the pressure. They forced turnovers for us. And they made shots on the other end.
When it comes to obviously making shots, you got a guy like Dame that you guys are all accustomed to, and CJ. How does it change the game plan when you got a guy like Gary Trent finding his rhythm in which he did tonight, 28 off the bench?
It changes a lot. We know our game plan was coming in for CJ and Dame, knowing they was gonna get all the shots up. But Gary Trent came in and he was on tonight. I don't even think he missed a three. But things like that, we got to stop. We can't let a third guy, at least get over 25, 30, knowing that Dame and CJ is gonna do that as well.
Last one for me, Kentavious. Obviously, you guys as a team take a lot of pride on the defensive end of the floor. We know, of course, a shortened off season, not a whole lot of time in training camp. How would you describe kind of where you guys are on that end this early in the season, and kind of where you guys need to evolve the most?
I feel like our communication need to get better. We still lack that on the defensive end because new guys, trying to figure it out and stuff like that. But I feel like it's our chemistry is building fast, as we expected. We still learning each other. But we just look forward to just getting that chemistry together.
All right, Rob, you're up again. Little Access 360. Yes, you are. Again, we're going to run it back with LeBron all-around game.
You know what? Sometimes you got to do it 3 times.
Trying to get
what
you
I'm
some shots up.
Oh, I
3
know,
times
man. Give me the rock, man. Give me the rock. All right, I got a little 360 showing LeBron had an all-around game early in the stage on a back-to-back, on a ball maker. Right here, you see LeBron just waiting. You know what? He's reading the defense. All eyes are on the ball. All eyes are on KCP. LeBron has a clear path to a back door. He doesn't see him, but he's in position for a rebound. Boom, tap in right there. Offensive rebound and 2 points. Here we go. Off to the races right here for Portland. But you know what? LeBron said, I'm going to get back. I'm going to track you. Do you know who I am? I'm going to get up there and block this shot because that's what I do. That's who I am. Should have been the defensive player of the year, not you, Mark. Here we go right here. Now he's set the pick and roll. Now he's in the corner, right? Same thing. You're going to turn your head on me. AD, give me the rock. I got a back door. I got a lane right here. Nobody's going to jump with me because they know they'll get dunked on. Right there, LeBron with an easy 2. Here we're off to the races again. LeBron's tracking in that trail position. You know what? I see you, AD. I'm going to get you back right here with an over-the-top pass for a little soft dunk by AD. LeBron does a little bit of everything. Right here, we're going to show you coming down with the rock, seeing everything. You know what? He's going to penetrate. You know what? I'm still the bully and the big bad man on the block. He goes up and over, canter for an easy 2 right there, and then looks at the bench. He should have flexed on him, but he didn't. So sometimes you got to do an Access 360 to show you what the king can do.
He does it all. He's been doing it, his whole career. I wonder if he and AD decided to play tonight because they wanted to send a message to Portland. It didn't happen. But, he's a guy that, he's a professional. Didn't have to play tonight. Probably could have taken a load management game after spraining his ankle again. Comes out, leads the team.
Yeah.
It's what he does. He leads by example.
True leader. True guy that runs the team and shows you, hey, I'm not going to be about it. I'm going to show you about it. 999
consecutive games with 10 or more points. 1,261 total, 4th all-time. Dennis Schroder continues to impress. Time now for Big Shots, Access 360 breakdown. You keeping it positive tonight?
Oh, yeah, man. It's the season of giving.
So
of course I got to keep it positive.
But it's a loss. You're staying at the...
Yeah, it's a loss.
Yeah, stay at the seat.
Yeah, right here.
Okay. Gasol defense, maybe?
Defense by Gasol.
Love it.
Not power, Mark. All right, Access 360 right here, boy. We got some good defense by Mark. This is a sign of a good defense. He sees that McCullough's coming out with a head of steam. You know what he's going to do? He's going to jump. He's going to surprise. I'm going to jump up at you, young fella. And look, LeBron with the quick hands, gets a good steal, goes off to one of his little patented dunks. See, I just laid it up because I was a back-to-back. I'm lazy like that. All right, now you got guy coming down. Paul right here, Gasol right here. I keep calling him Paul. Mark. See, Mark right here. He sees the defender Schroeder's behind, so he goes up and contests. And think about it, he never gives up. He uses his length to get back to Dame, blocks the shot right here. get back to the game again. Now we're off to another situation here. We got the defender coming back a little late. AD is a little late, getting over to the Portland guy. Look at Mark patrolling the paint. Now I'm going to come over like I'm supposed to. I'm going to go straight up, but I'm going to use my length to block shot. And look at that speed right there. See, this is what you understand about Mark. He knows how to use the speed when he wants to speed. Sped over there, tip the ball off the guy's foot. They get the ball. We're going the other way with that.
It's a good sign. Maybe a slow start for Mark, but as Rob showed, he's starting to figure it out. 4 blocks last game, 12 points. We saw that. A couple blocks tonight. Big game.
Yeah, we're not worried about slow starts for Mark. He's a player that's been around. We know what he can do. And I think when the time comes, during the regular season, he'll be there. But when you get him in the playoffs in 7 games, that's when his intellect and his play really comes to fruition. But we'll see it throughout the regular season. He'll have nights where he'll be, not as fast, not as quick as some of his opponents. But he's a smart player and very beneficial.
Also, when you've been playing the league as long as he have and carrying that much weight around, it's sometimes hard to play in that back-to-back game.
It is.
So it's hard.
More to come on Access. Good point, Rob. LeBron was all over the court tonight in the media.
Hey, Frank, what did you see after you got up to that 13-point lead in the first quarter? Did you see something switch?
Well, I thought we came out with great energy, obviously, and, sort of jumped on them, built up that early lead. We just weren't able to sustain it. For whatever reason. Portland's a very good team, and they made their counters with their energy and made their runs. And when they made their runs, we just weren't able to sustain the energy we began the game with.
Frank, AD got some post-ups in the second half. Seemed like he got going a little bit. I just wondered what you thought of his game overall in that first half, especially.
Yeah, I just think we didn't do a good enough job making sure he was involved in the offense in the first half. We just got to do a bit better job of that, but certainly a little bit better in the second half. Just one of those nights we were kind of stuck in mud a little bit. I don't know if because we played last night or whatever. But after we came out strong to start out of the gates, just had trouble sustaining that energy and intensity.
Just any early thoughts on closing lineups? I know it's something that fluctuated from game to game last season, but anything on tonight in that group that you saw for most of the fourth quarter?
Yeah, well, we're a new team, so we're going to continue to look at different things. We can play with Mark or Trez finishing. We have the ability to slide AD over the 5. I hadn't had Keith in the game because we wanted to have a ball handler in there with Bron during that stretch where Keith normally plays. So he would have been cold to put him in late. And, I like the lineup that we had out there, but we just weren't able to get the job done.
Dave?
Frank, staying on AD, you mentioned that it was kind of on the team to get him better looks. Was there anything on him that he could have done to put himself in a better position, come to the ball more often? Was it just on the team, or was there anything that he could have done as well?
Yeah, I think it really starts with the group. And we just weren't moving the ball that well. I got to make sure that I get him the ball in opportunities where he can be aggressive. Because when we do that, we know he's aggressive and carries a big load for us. So it's really on the group.
Bill?
Hey, Frank. Obviously, Portland has really dynamic guards, so maybe this is more noticeable given the matchup. But just what did you feel like you missed with Alex not out there tonight?
We miss Alex. Alex has great energy. He's one of our most vocal guys, even when he's not in the game. Just talking out coverages, and he's like an assistant coach over there. And helping guys through defending actions, and he's a big part of what we do, obviously. So we certainly miss his energy tonight.
We'll take 3 more questions. Kyle Bloom.
Yeah, Frank. Just Marc Gasol seemed like he had some good defensive moments, but didn't make the passing influence he had. And Trez, it seemed like he was still trying to find his scoring self even late in the game. What's sort of the balance of trying to find some of those key situations where each guy can play, and how did you tonight sort of make a grade on choosing which of those guys to put in the closing lineup?
Yeah, we're going to have the ability to go with either one of those guys or to slide AD at the 5 like we talked about. And, we just, obviously Trez had a strong night last night. I liked his ability, with what they were doing defensively. You know, with Trez being able to flash to the rim on AD's post-ups, or with him rolling in the pick and roll game, you know, but that group just wasn't able to get the job done. Like I said, it's early in the season. You know, we'll continue to look at a lot of different combinations.
Last two, Jovan.
Hey, Frank, you guys had to play up in your pick and roll coverages because of Dame and CJ's ability to shoot off the dribble. I'm curious how you felt the bigs did in their defensive coverages, as well as in the fourth quarter and maybe some of those breakdowns.
Yeah, I thought they were pretty good for the first time in our scheme. You know, like I said, we haven't had a whole lot of practice time. Obviously, what we did in the playoffs, you have a whole 2 weeks to lock into one opponent. This is the second night of back-to-back, so there's not a lot of reps for new guys to get involved. But I thought they did a good job. I think the bigger thing more than Dame's going to be Dame. CJ's always tough to guard, but we didn't get Gary Trent under control. I think that was one of the biggest things with the bench. He came in and lit us up, and if you look at the box score, that's where the separation really existed. And a plus minus from a plus minus standpoint is their bench combinations, not just their bench, because obviously Dame or CJ's out there just like we have LeBron or Anthony out there, but those minutes is where they sort of separated themselves.
Last question, Dan.
Frank, you talked a little bit about rim protection last night. Obviously, it's not going to be the same as it was a year ago when you lose guys like JaVale and Dwight. I think you led the league in blocks last year. Can you do that other ways? Is it with Trez as a charge taker? Are there kind of different ways to protect the rim, and how do you think that's going to sort of play out here as this team kind of figures out what it's going to do defensively?
Yeah, I don't think we should be any worse than we were last year. There's going to be a high expectation of protecting the basket. And you just said it right there, Trez with his charge taking.